All right, so today we're diving into a new blockchain called SUI, and it's making a really bold promise to finally fix the traffic jams that have made crypto feel clunky for years. The goal? To deliver a blockchain that feels as fast and smooth as the internet itself. Let's see if it can actually pull it off.
But first, let's start with a problem I'm sure you've run into. You know that feeling? You go to buy an NFT or make a simple transaction, and you're just stuck, waiting. And then you see the shockingly high fees. It's exactly this problem that's kept blockchain from really hitting the mainstream.
Think of it like this. The problem is a massive traffic jam. Most blockchains today work like a single-lane road with one toll booth. Every single car, every transaction, big or small, has to get in the same line and wait its turn. It's processed one by one. But SUI was designed from the ground up to be different. It's more like a multi-lane expressway. Lots of simple transactions can just zoom through in their own lanes all at the same time, totally bypassing the main congestion. And honestly, this one idea is the key to everything.
All right, so that's the big promise. But how does SUI actually solve this traffic problem? Let's take a closer look at what this new blockchain is really all about.
First things first, it's pronounced SUI. At its heart, SUI is what we call a Layer 1 blockchain. That puts it in the same category as the big players like Ethereum. But its entire mission is to be what they often aren't: way faster, way cheaper, and a whole lot easier for developers to build on. The whole point is to create apps that finally feel smooth and responsive without all that frustrating lag. And this focus on performance and just making things easy to use, that's really the key here. SUI isn't just being built for the crypto experts, it's designed to be the foundation for everything from super fast-paced games to complicated business tools. And the engine powering it all is its native SUI token, which is used for pretty much everything, from paying those tiny transaction fees to securing the entire network.
Okay, so let's pop the hood, right? How does SUI actually build that multi-lane expressway we were talking about? Well, it all comes down to a few really important pieces of technology.
First up is its security model, a system called proof of stake. Now, instead of burning massive amounts of electricity like Bitcoin does, SUI uses an economic incentive. The people who run the network, the validators, they have to lock up their own SUI tokens as collateral. It's kind of like a security deposit. If they play by the rules and process transactions honestly, they get rewarded. It's just a much more energy-efficient and scalable way to keep the whole network safe.
Now for the second secret ingredient, it's programming language, which is called Move. And what's really fascinating here is where it came from. It was originally developed inside Meta, Facebook, for their own big crypto plans. It's designed specifically to handle digital money and assets, which makes it much harder for developers to make those common, costly mistakes that can lead to hacks or lost funds. This built-in focus on safety and flexibility is a huge deal.
So you put all that tech together, and what do you actually get? Well, the results are pretty darn impressive. We're talking about the potential for thousands of transactions every single second, fees that are practically zero even when the network is busy, and the ability to scale up and handle heavy traffic without grinding to a halt. This makes it perfect for things where speed is absolutely everything, like online gaming or real-time NFT trading.
Okay, so we've got the what and the how. Now let's get into the real-world stuff. What are people actually building on SUI, and more importantly, what are the potential risks and the big challenges it's facing?
As you'd probably guess from a high-speed blockchain, the use cases are pretty broad, everything from instant payments to complex financial apps. But the areas where SUI really wants to shine are things like gaming and digital collectibles. The places where a lag-free, super low-cost experience is an absolute must-have for users. But, it's never that simple, right? No project is a guaranteed win. On one hand, you've got SUI's incredible speed and its innovative tech. That's a huge plus. But on the other hand, it's still the new kid on the block, and that always carries some risk. Plus, it's up against some fierce competition from established players. And really, its ultimate success is going to come down to one simple question. Can it convince enough developers and users to actually come over and join its ecosystem?
Now, for anyone who's curious and wants to give it a spin, getting started is actually pretty straightforward. The process is a lot like other cryptocurrencies. First, you'll need an account on an exchange that lists SUI. Then you can buy some, either with regular money or another crypto. After that, you'll want to move it to a personal wallet like the official SUI wallet. And from there, you're all set to start playing with apps or even staking your tokens.
So let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture. In a world that feels like it's absolutely flooded with blockchains, why should we care about this one? What really makes SUI a potential game changer?
When you get right down to it,
SUI's biggest ambition is to become invisible. Seriously, the goal is to make the underlying technology so fast and so seamless that using a decentralized app feels exactly the same as using any other app on your phone. You won't even know the blockchain is there.
You know, I think this quote just nails it. It positions SUI not as something trying to kill the first wave, but as the natural evolution. It's part of a whole new generation of blockchains that are being built on the lessons we learned over the last decade, designed specifically to solve the very problems that held that first wave back.
And that leaves us with the final and maybe the most important question of all. SUI and others like it are making a huge bet that they can finally deliver on that original promise of Web3, a decentralized internet that is just as fast, just as scalable, and just as easy to use as the web we use every single day. Whether they succeed, well, that's the big story we're all going to be watching.